Jesse Minter is your new Baltimore Ravens head coach on this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Yes. As you can see from the title, as you can see from just down below, Jesse Minter is the new Baltimore Ravens head coach, the fourth in franchise history. And welcome back to episode 372 of the Purple Rain podcast, the Ben Powers, Andrew Voorhees, Kelechi Osemele, Alex Lewis edition of the Purple Rain podcast. You can see we're joined by two special guests below me and my co-host Sutton Def next to me as well. Probably one of the most monumental, I think, episodes I say in Purple Rain podcast history. We're not used to this. This is now for me the second time I've seen a coach in my lifetime as a Baltimore Raven. Get the hire. First was John Harbaugh, so this is now the second one. But down below, you can follow these guys here, Hoodie Ramey and Coach Evans here on Twitter. A big thank you to coming through on this episode. A big one. And of course, Sutton Def here. So I'm going to pass off to you, Sutton. I know you're feeling good. You had the vibes going before the episode. So I guess how are we all feeling? Honestly.
Hey, man. Look, man, again, welcome in to this episode 372 of the Purple Rain podcast. We truly do appreciate you guys coming through. We are live right now, as you guys know, but if you're not part of the live, you're part of the hashtag replay gang, shout out to you. Thank you for coming through as well. Please be sure to like this video. Please leave a thumbs up. It helps us out so much, guys. You guys don't even understand. It helps us out a ton with the algorithm, all that good stuff, so we can keep bringing you good Ravens content. Hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. One more housekeeping thing. We are doing a jersey giveaway for the members of this channel, the official Rain Gang members of the channel. We will be giving away a Lamar Jackson jersey of your choosing, the color of your choosing as well. So if you are interested in that, make sure you join the Rain Gang. The membership link should be somewhere down below in the description or somewhere by the description. You guys know how that works, right? But yeah, and that we're actually going to be announcing the winners Super Bowl weekend. So you have some time. Right now, I think we have around 30-ish members, somewhere around there. So if you join, you got a pretty good shot at winning that jersey. So maybe consider, and again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. But again, we got some very, very special guests in the building. We got Coach Evans from Sip2 Tally Films. Man, I've been on live with Coach all season long on the Ravens Roundup. We've been having a great time. Y'all see, I still got my mug. Coach sent me a mug, real nice mug right there.
You got
Ravens
a new
Roundup.
one coming in the next month or so.
Okay, yeah, you said the black one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. I already see we're making it rain here on this episode of the show. We'll get to that in just a second. But Coach, how you doing today, man?
I'm feeling good, man. Was live talking about Shield House and how I like Shield House and how I think he would be the next great offensive mind. And then I saw something in the chat said mentor hired. I immediately just started yapping. And not really paying attention to what I'm doing. I go to Twitter and I see it's official. The whole live stream changed instantly. I did something that John Harbaugh couldn't do. Adjust.
Had to adjust on the fly, man. I know how that is, man. I mean, we've gotten some pretty big news here live on PRP before. I think the biggest news we ever got while live on the show, Alex, wasn't it draft night 2022 when we traded away Hollywood?
Yeah, draft night.
Yeah, that was probably, live on the show we experienced. That was crazy. But this is even crazier. But again, shout out to you, Coach. Thank you so much for coming through. If you want to go check out Sip2 Tally Films channel, which you should, if you have not already, it's down below in the description. Just click on the link down there. We also have Hoodie Ramey. The king of Ravens. Twitter is in the house. What's going on, Ramey? Another friend of the show. How you feeling, man?
I mean, John Harbaugh's not my head coach, and we got a new head coach, so I'm chilling.
Pretty dandy.
Love it.
I hear that. I love it. Again, thank you, gentlemen, for coming through. This is going to be a great episode, a jam-packed episode of just all Jesse Minter talk. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Comment down below what you think about the hire. And please, it's a no-holds-barred comment section. So if you hate it, tell me exactly why you hate it, because I'm going to be up at 3 a.m. tomorrow morning reading through y'all's comments. I mean, that's just something that I do. Just letting you know. Now, again, like I said, we do have a super chat donation. The first person to make it rain here on episode 372 is always blessed 410. Thank you so much, brother, making it rain with the 5-piece in the chat. Says, what's up, fellas? I'm excited for this pick. Praying he can do for Mike Green what he did for Owe. Be safe and God bless. God bless you and yours as well. Always blessed for it, Tim. We appreciate that. And yeah, honestly, we'll get into it more, obviously, but I'm thinking that he might be able to unlock some of the guys, not just Mike Green, but maybe he can work with Atavius Robinson, who's still got some time, left with Baltimore as well. So who knows? But again, I won't say too much about it because we're going to get into all of that on this episode of the show. But thank you so much, brother, for your donation. We got another one from Asmodeus, who's also a member in the chat. Shout out to the members. He's already qualified for the jersey giveaway. If you want to qualify for it, become a member. You'll automatically qualify. Dropping the 2-piece in the chat says 1-0. Coaching covering for Jim when he was suspended. 1-0 coaching covering for Jim when he was suspended.
When Jim Harbaugh was suspended at Michigan, he was the interim head coach.
Yeah. Got you. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. And thank you so much, Asmodeus, for making it rain, as always, man. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, fellas. Let's go ahead and get into it. So what we're going to do, we're going to play a little bit of around the horn, right? And we talked about it before we went on live. We're going to go under me, so coach, and then around town to Ramey and up to Simply as 10. That's how we're going to give our opinions in that order. So coach, coming to you first, as a football coach himself, what exactly does Jesse Minter bring to the table that you think the Ravens were just like, hey, man, we got to bring this guy in the building? What do you think it was?
Part of it is familiarity. Now, we know we all need friends like the Ravens. Like, if you got a friend that's loyal like the Ravens, you got a friend for life. Like, for real, you got a guy. But he was with the Ravens earlier, worked with the other Harbaugh. So I just think it's a lot of familiarity with it, and he understands. He knew what to say to EDC and Sashi, and he knew what to say to them because he's been around them. He know what they look for in what values they look for, what core things that define them. And so he kind of had the answers to the test over some of these other guys. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that he's not a good football coach either. I'm excited about it, but I won't be negative at all, period, until I see the OC hire. I'm excited about him and what he can do for the defense, but the OC hire is what gets me, because I feel like our offense can take even the crappy defense we had last year. If our offense was lighting it up like it was at the beginning of the year, we wouldn't be in this boat right now. So I think he can fix the defense, but his OC hire is going to be the most important thing. Well, his OC and his O-line coach going to be the most important things right there.
Okay. Smoke and Play podcast says, damn, I just subscribed. Why did my name get shouted out? My bad, bro.
Well, there it is.
My bad, bro. There you go. My bad. It's a little hectic today, but thank you for coming through. Thank you for joining us here, brother. 183 people watching live right now. Shout out to all of you guys watching from across all of our platforms here. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitter. We're live on Kick as well. Again, shout out to you wherever you may be listening, however you may be listening. If you're watching on YouTube, though, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, Ramey, again, King of Ravens Twitter over here, reigning King of Ravens Twitter for like the past 5 years. Again, friend of the show, been on here for maybe 3-4 times. Ramey, how are you feeling about Jesse Minter as the new Ravens head coach? Well, actually, first off, before you answer, Ramey, when, and I'm going to ask you to get a little bit transparent here, right? How old were you when John Harbaugh was hired?
Oh Lord.
I was in kindergarten.
Oh, so okay. So basically, you don't know Ravens
I was
football.
30.
So basically, you don't know Ravens football without John Harbaugh. So obviously, the firing was probably you liked it, but I'm sure it was probably a little bit bittersweet for you, as it was for me, right? So how does this make you feel, like, emotionally, for one, and then two? What do you think Jesse Minter offers the Ravens going forward?
Well, look, I know I joke about John Harbaugh getting, fired and let go, whatever you want to say, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did great things.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things, like, towards the end, it just got super tumultuous, and, like, especially when he's making those comments, like, end of the bar, and, we know all that, but it just got a little – he probably overstayed his welcome for too long, and that's probably why it's probably – I don't want to say it's nasty, but I mean, a little nasty. But regardless, I do miss him a little bit. Wish him well. He did good things, but it was just time. As far as Jesse Minter goes, I'm not gonna lie. I think the writing was on the wall for months. I think I wanted other guys, no doubt. I wanted I mean, whether it was a Clint Kubiak or Mike McDaniel or whatever, I'm more of an offensive guy. I enjoy that, especially in today's game. But I mean, you go just watch the little clips of Jesse Minter, and it's almost like we got our Mike McDonald light. To be honest with you, like it's not he's not the same guy. He's not nowhere near the same guy, and that's unfair to even put that on him. But you watch that Patriots Chargers wildcard game, and like, how can you not be impressed by that? Like he's not Mike McDonald, but he runs similar principles to Mike McDonald. You see the sim pressures, you see the D line dropping in coverage, you see all that. He's clearly getting the most out of his players, and you look no further than Odafe. I mean, he just put money in Odafe Owe's pocket. Because Odafe was probably looking at like a 1-year deal, like a prove it, probably. If he ended his year in Baltimore, but now he's probably gonna get a big check.
Right.
So like just that right there, that tells me he's getting the most out of his players, especially when you see like a Derwin James going online and like advocate for him, and like even like talking to like guys like Tony Jefferson. Like Tony Jefferson is about as transparent as they come. Great guy. And he's advocating for him. And that's how I know that we got a real deal coach. So like I know there's a lot of people that are negative about it, and I get it because it is Harbaugh adjacent. He's from the tree, so to speak. But like you got to give him a chance because like Coach said, he's a brilliant football coach. Like he's a great football coach. There's familiarity, but he didn't just get like handed this job off that. You know what I mean? So I just want people to. I mean, he hasn't even gotten his office yet, and you got people already criticizing it. But I also want to agree with what Coach said as well. The OC hire is everything. Everything.
Definitely, the OC hire is paramount right now. I'm sure, all Ravens fans are just kind of waiting by the phones to see what that hire looks like. Is it going to be a Cliff Kingsbury? Is it going to be somebody else? We don't know. Maybe the Ravens can still land a Nate Shieldhouse, by chance. That would be incredible, if you ask me. But Alex, let me toss it to you as my co-host. I mean, we've been talking about this going back and forth for the last 2 weeks, what we want, what we don't want. Now, I know, Alex, Kubiak was your main guy. That was your guy. So how are you feeling today? I mean, do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Brother, talk to me.
I'm not going to hate it. I think hating it is just very unfair to the man. He earned it. I think, what he did with Los Angeles, I'm not going to undermine that. He had 2 turnovers in a playoff game, something that we haven't seen in probably over a decade. Okay, so let me get that out the way. It sucks to say, but it's the truth. I think he was getting more with less. I'm not going to downplay their defense, but with the talent that we've talked about on this show for the past how many days? I mean, how many weeks? Months. We had the talent on this defense, and we bring up Owe, how we got the most out of him. I look at guys like a Tarheeb Still, a 4th-round pick out of Maryland. He got the most out of him and then some. I look at we spend these day 3 picks on guys, and they get cut. I'm looking forward to having maybe a coach that can get the most of these guys. They see the field. They don't see just special teams all the time. So I'm definitely going to like it. And going to the OC, if we could get Shieldhouse, I'm not going to do it on camera, but I might streak, all right? I'll be running around this house, probably butt-ass naked if we get Nate Shieldhouse.
My video was about Shieldhouse. If they bring Shieldhouse in as the OC, me and you will streak, not on camera, and not together.
Okay. Yeah, but it's hard for me right now not to be excited. Actually, last night, funnily enough, I was watching the 2000s America's Game, Baltimore Ravens, and I saw how crazy Brian Billick was and just the energy he brought. And I think we're going to be getting some of that energy, less of the John Harbaugh, very monotone. We'll be getting that energetic guy I think we've been asking for. When we get a pick 6, he will be jumping with the guys. He won't just be giving he'll be jumping on the sideline with them. I know that's something I think I've been asking for a while. I think you've been asking for a while. And Steve Bisciotti said he's a man of his word. He won a guy X's and O's. He got him. So right now, I think I'm liking it even more as I'm talking about it. But how can you not be excited?
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm excited as hell, man. I mean, I got the notification a little bit late, like 20 minutes after the news broke, and I was like, well, what was I doing? I don't know what I was doing, but once I got the notification, everything just kind of went like, I blacked out, because I knew we had the show coming up, and I was like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? We got some big news, and then Coach hit me up. Coach wasn't even supposed to come on today. I was actually going to ask Coach to come on next week, and Coach, I got to talk to you about that after the show, just to let you know. But
Yes.
Yeah, coach hit me. Yeah, okay, cool. Perfect. But coach hit me up. He was like, yeah, I'll come through. And I was like, all right, cool. I sent him the link. Here he is. This is beautiful. 354 people watching live right now. Shout out to you guys. This is the Purple Rain podcast. We are live reacting. This is our instant reaction. Me, Simply as 10, Coach Ivan Evans, and also Hoodie Ramey reacting to Jesse Minter being the new Ravens head coach. Now, for me, because I did a very long video, about an hour and a half video last night on Jesse Minter, and another super chat donation that I'll bring up on screen here. But my biggest thing was just how much this guy is. He's a details guy. He's very detail oriented. And when you watch that mic'd up that he had with the Chargers, it was like an 8-minute long video. Not only could you see how the players respected him, and Ramey kind of alluded to it with Derwin James, right? Who I'll get into that in a second as well. William, appreciate the sub. But those guys looked up to him, right?
Mhm.
Those guys would run through a wall for him. You can tell. And the fact that the Chargers defense, he led a Chargers defense that in the last 10 of their last 10 of 11 games, they were only allowing 20 or fewer points. So for that reason, I feel like he can come in here and he can revitalize this Ravens defense that's gotten pretty stale. I mean, I want to see him revitalize and get the most out of guys like Marlon Humphrey. I want to see him revitalize and get the most out of guys like Roquan Smith. And I'm actually wearing the Marlon Humphrey jersey today, mainly because I couldn't find my Lamar jersey. I was going to wear that one. But Marlon Humphrey, I need Jesse Minter to really bring these guys back, and I believe he will. But again, details-oriented guy, like you mentioned, Alex, X's and O's. Leadership is there. He's a younger guy, too. He's 42 years old. I love that about him. But overall, man, I'm ecstatic. Now, you guys mentioned the OC, Nate Shieldhouse. If the Ravens were to get a Nate Shieldhouse, y'all know he would only be a rental, right? He would only be here for maybe like a year, maybe two. If we enjoyed even the slightest bit of success offensively with Nate Shieldhouse, he would be up out of here. McVay tree, year one, it leads Lamar Jackson going damn near win MVP on his own. Right. You add in a Nate Shieldhouse, yeah, he'd be out of there in a year. So forget about that. But I would still love it though. I would still love it. But no, man, I'm really, really happy the Ravens made this move. What we're gonna go to next is a couple of let me see. I have this super chat donation here that I need to bring up before I miss that. Let me not miss that. Asmodeus says this is also the Ravens' first defensive-minded head coach. Yeah, I love the fact that he's going to be hands-on with one side of the ball. You know, Ramey, let me toss this question. Well, actually, no, we're going to go in order. Let me do this. Let me go in order. Coach, let me toss this question to you. Did you think that the Ravens would go with, I mean, how do I want to say this? Did you know or have a feeling that the Ravens would go with a defensive-minded head coach, or were you kind of leaning more so towards offensive?
When he said that Lamar would be involved in the process as much as he wanted to, I thought offensive guy.
Right.
But as the weeks went on and I saw the list, I kind of had a feeling it was going to be this guy. And I didn't like it at first. But like I said on my show earlier, a couple comments in my video yesterday, made me change my mind. Because, we don't want Harbaugh, none of that. We want that stench gone. But I think 3 or 4 people up under my video said Mike McDonald's a Harbaugh guy. And so I had to take a pause back. I'm like, you're right. Just because he coached under him, he's not that guy. So I felt like this was their number one from the jump. But I just, when they was involving Lamar, I thought it was gonna be an offensive guy. So I'm cool with it. And I ain't gonna be negative Nancy. I'm gonna give the man a chance. I just need to see who that OC hire is.
Yeah, for sure. And hell, I'll even be interested to see who the DC hire is, at this point. I mean, I'm sure it'll be probably a developmental guy, some guy we might not have ever heard of, but he's probably next up, so to say. But man, I really can't express how excited I am about this hire. I said it last night. I said that a lot of people are kind of crapping on this hire, or they were crapping on the potential of it last night when I was talking about it on the show. They were saying, like, why would you go with another Harbaugh disciple? Like, that seems like a safe pick. And I'm thinking, like, to myself, no, I mean, I think it's just risky enough, right? I mean, because you're getting Jesse Minter, who, yeah, he's a Harbaugh disciple, but Jim more so than John, right? And you're getting a guy who has seen success. I mean, last time Jesse Minter was with the Ravens, I believe it was 2017 through 2020, Ravens had a top 5 defense. 2 years in a row, and he was the DB's coach, right? So we're getting a guy who's familiar to the Ravens. We're getting a guy who, like Coach said, probably had some of the answers to the test here. But let me go through some more of these super chat donations, and Ramey, I want to get your reaction to some of these things that they're saying here in the chat. Let me see. Coopman35 says we needed Brady as OC and Messidor at 14-star pass rusher. He's talking about draft picks already. What did you think about Joe Brady? Because I was never really, in on him.
Me, Joe Brady. This is me.
Yeah.
Look, I like Joe Brady back in his days at LSU because he was that 2019 LSU team. So if he can politic, maybe make a call over to Minnesota or whatever he wants to do, that's cool. I don't know that the Bills' offense isn't like. I know the Bills fans hate Joe Brady. They don't like him because I hear it's a lot of like run screen, like just very. It sounds like a little gimmicky offense sometimes. But the Bills' offense, the Bills' offense is good. I think he probably just falls victim to probably something similar to us. When you're not getting over the hump and things aren't necessarily going so great, someone's got to be the reason for it. So he's probably. I mean, I think Joe Brady would be probably a good hire. But I can understand the trepidation. And same with Cliff. Cliff literally this time last year was just getting people loved Cliff Kingsbury because he was doing they were in the NFC Championship game. They were doing great things. They were rolling. And he honestly wasn't working with the best X's and O's. Like the Commanders offense isn't, I think their receiver 2 last year, I think was Noah Brown. Yep. They weren't working with the best Jimmys and Joes, but he was still doing his thing. So and then they're 5-12 this year, and they fall off, and now no one likes Cliff Kingsbury, and he's they're calling him a 1 year wonder, 1 year wonder or whatever. But I think both of those guys are probably solid options. But I think again, I think if you hire any of these guys with Lamar and all the weapons that we got, they're probably not here for long. So I think that might have to. I don't know if that plays a factor in a hire necessarily. But I really just, and this is probably why I leaned offensive head coach, is with Todd, we were getting that continuity every single year. We were getting consistent play calling, the same voice in Lamar's headset, and I love it. And you saw the development over time. So again, it's probably going to be a struggle because they're leaning a younger guy like Joe Brady. Joe Brady's probably in and out of here, to be honest with you, because he's already getting second head coach jobs now. So you'd imagine he's going to have a great year here. But I'd like a Joe Brady. I'll definitely like a Joe.
And then King AMT95 dropping the 2-piece in the chat. Appreciate you, King. Alex, this one's for you. Just wish we fully invested in Lamar. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to you, King. Thank you for the donation. What do you think? What do you say to that? I mean, to the people who say, defund the defense, and hey, Coach, Jose probably fuming right now. I know Jose probably fuming.
When I talked to him a few minutes ago, he was driving, so I don't really know how he feel yet. But we definitely gonna get him and talk about it.
For sure. But Alex, I mean, what do you think? I mean, obviously we're not going towards offense. You talked about no Kubiak. What say you to this?
And I'm probably the best person to ask because I wanted somebody offensive. If Lamar was truly in those meetings and he had his say and this was his guy, I have no reason not to back it. And I think we're all kind of behind getting a guy who can elevate his game because I honestly still think he can be better than 41-4, as crazy as that sounds. I think even some of those games he kind of just held off, but I think he could put up 50 at the rate, if we can give him another weapon. But that's why I mentioned a guy like Shieldhouse, a guy who is young for me. And I know you mentioned Joe Brady. I think he might be the Bills' next head coach. I think it's kind of, for me, kind of set in stone. I think he might get that job. And honestly, Sutton, you put me on to his play calling against the Jags that last drive in OT. And that kind of gave me what they call these days the ick. I saw that, and I've seen that, from the Ravens far too many times. It was, the run was just so obvious. It backs him up. And what does Josh Allen do? Deep pass, picked off, and eventually game. But I think we'll get the right OC. I'm with Coach on that one. I'm not going to judge the guy until I see who is running the offense. Defensively, though, I saw Denard Wilson didn't get held on to by the Titans. That could definitely be a guy who would come back here. 43, Maryland boy, already familiar with the Ravens defense. Just names to throw out there. I know he was a DB's coach here and wasn't a bad defense when he was here. Just a Triple Crown winner.
Yeah. No, that would be pretty intriguing. Now, here's where I want to go next. And again, we're gonna keep going around the horn. Coach, I want to start with you here.
Okay.
What Ravens player are you excited for the most after hearing about this Jesse Minter news? And again, we'll go around the horn. Coach, we'll start with you.
Kyle Hamilton.
Talk to me, Coach.
He's a younger, better. Well, I'm gonna say better because he was pretty good at the time, but he's the new Derwin James. And quick story about Derwin, and I seen this with my own two eyes when I first moved here to Florida. Went to a Florida State practice, and they were doing one-on-ones. And so normally when you do one-on-ones, like me and Sutton will go, then Alex and Raimi will go, and you just kind of work down the line. Well, somebody said something crazy to Derwin, and keeping at the time, I don't know who he is. Somebody said something crazy to him. This son gonna win 6 straight times and locked everybody down. And Kyle has that. Kyle has that kind of potential, but I think he's a little bit more aggressive, closer to the line of scrimmage. I think Kyle can do everything on a football field but catch.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, I put out a whole video yesterday about how Kyle Hamilton is probably going to benefit the most from a Jesse Minter hire if it were to happen, and now it has. I definitely think that he's going to be able to unlock another level in Kyle Hamilton that we might not have seen yet. I was exaggerating in my video that I put out earlier. I said that he's going to have Kyle Hamilton averaging 10 sacks a season. And obviously that's a little bit hyperbolic, but honestly, I could see about 5 a season with, again, like you said, Coach, how aggressive Kyle Hamilton is around the line of scrimmage. And somebody asked me this on Twitter earlier today. They said that, if Jesse Minter were to get hired, do you think that he would bring physicality and kind of like a bullying nature back to this defense? And I said, yeah, I think that number one, I think the two are different. Physical, like being physical and being a bully, two different things.
Yes.
Let me explain. So physicality, I think that's just, of course, hitting hard, you know what I'm saying? Getting to the point of attack, quick, fast, and in a hurry. But I think that with a Jesse Minter at head coach, he is going to instill a defensive scheme that will empower players on the field. They'll be more confident, and you get better physicality when guys are flying around the field, right? Because they know exactly where they need to be at all times. Now, when it comes to, will he bring that bully culture, that bully nature back to Baltimore? You can't get that from X's and O's. That comes from the Jims and Joes, right? You still need that dog. And I think that Eric DaCosta was saying a couple of weeks ago, they want to bring in a quote unquote big ticket player. Now that we have a defensive minded head coach, maybe they do kind of push their chips to the middle of the table for a Max Crosby, something like that. But like I said, again, man, I mean, Kyle Hamilton, I think you hit the nail on the head, Coach. For me, we share the same answer there. And fellas, if you guys have that same answer, don't shy away from it. You can build upon it. But Raimi, we'll toss it to you. Which player on the Ravens are you most excited about now that Jesse Minter is the new head coach?
I'm not gonna lie. It's probably a good thing, but I just had like probably about every single player on the Ravens defense in my head, just because like I think he's gonna get the most out of all of them. But if I had to say, I'm gonna go with probably any of the linebackers, like inside linebackers, just because like those guys that he had this year, Deion Henley, Denzel Perryman, like those guys were flying like, oh my, like they don't jump off the paper as far as name, but like they're flying on the field. So like he's just getting the most out of those guys. And like to be honest, like the Ravens linebackers, like the last couple of years, it kind of feels like we just at times like we have scarecrows in the middle of the field. Like we're not getting like the Ravens, like you're used to that inside linebacker play, like no matter who it was, just them being a core component of the defense. So I'm excited to see what he can do for a guy like Roquan, because Roquan just hasn't been a $100 million linebacker.
Right.
Like he just hasn't been that guy. And then Trenton Simpson, we've seen these little splashes, but like, can he finally take like establish himself and like be a component of this defense? And like even a guy like Teddy Buchanan, when he gets back from his ACL, like he already showed some good things. So if you're doing that in a Zach Ward defense, can you I can only imagine what you can do in a Jesse Minter defense. Right. So any inside backer.
Got you. Alex?
I mean, easily Kyle Hamilton, but just for the sake of it, I'm going to say Mike Green. First round talent, obviously. I think for me, the talent's there. I know something you've mentioned, maybe him put a little weight on. This guy's working with Owe last year, who took a 0 sack guy and a double-digit sack guy into multiple forced fumbles and a playoffs type of guy. Worked with a Khalil Mack, probably one of the best, if not the best, edge rushers of my generation, our generation. I mean, come on now. When we talk about it in 10 to 15 years, his name will be thrown up there when we mention edge rushers, along with Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. But can you get the most out of it? I think we've been lacking that pass rush now for 2 years? I mean, thankfully, Clowney and KVN stepped up when Mike was here, but after that, it was pretty dark. It was a lot of coverage hacks. It was a lot of just getting sacks on bad quarterbacks. I know we mention all the time. Big game. Let's say week 1, Sunday Night Football. Who do we play? What's a big team we play this year? Play the Bills again?
Yeah.
Cowboys. Do we play the
Bills?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Say it's the Bills. I think it's away in their new stadium. Who's going to get to Josh Allen on 3rd and 7? We have maybe a 3-point lead. I think Minter can be the guy that can unlock that and get that big stop we've been waiting for. Unlike last year, Sunday Night Football, he had all day, 41 points. We know how that ends.
Yeah. And it really makes you wonder, too. I mean, like you talked about Odafe Owe and what Jesse Minter was able to unlock in him. Coach, I want to toss this question to you. I mean, as a football coach, like, first of all, did you watch the mic'd up? The one that I'm sure you probably did. The one
I have
Jesse
not.
Minter?
I have not. I got some stuff queued up for when we finish to check out on Minter.
Okay. Sounds good. But I mean, regardless, as a football coach, like exactly like how much, like what could it be exactly? Like if you had to explain it in your own words, because I don't think it's a coincidence that Odafe Owe goes from having 0 sacks in the first 5 to 6 games with the Ravens and then on a short season with the Chargers ends up with damn near 11, right? And then going off in a playoff game. Do you think it's just like the technique that was being taught in the building, or like what is that? The motivation? Like what is it?
I think it's the philosophy. Because you don't you don't just instantaneous go to another team and start getting sacks. I think it's the philosophy, the way like maybe they had them to rush to contain and not maybe rush to like really go get the quarterback, or they asked them to do too much. Football players need to have a simple assignment so they can play fast. And teams that have complex schemes, but the people pick it up, like Mike Mack's defensive scheme, that's why they can play fast and be so multiple. If your scheme is complex and they can't pick it up, they're going to play slow. They're going to be thinking. You don't want football players thinking. You want them reading, reacting, and attacking. And the more they think, the more the offense is going to get them. Because me, as an offensive coordinator, if you flat-footed, we're going to test your oil quick. And if you look confused or we see you running around and talking a lot, snap the ball. So it needs to be complex, but it needs to be communicated simple.
I love that answer. I really love that answer. I mean, you brought up the word philosophy. We all saw the Steve Bisciotti and Eric DeCosta presser last week. And it kind of felt like to me, I won't speak for you gentlemen, but it felt like to me there was a subtle shift in philosophy that was kind of being suggested by one Steve Bisciotti. And if you look right to Steve Bisciotti's left on that interview or that presser, you saw Eric DeCosta, who looked visibly uncomfortable, right? When we talk about the rest of this offseason, because we know there's still the Lamar contract, that's probably the next big domino that has to fall for the Ravens, right? But going into draft and going into, free agency and all that, Ramey, what do you think realistically this offseason should look like? Like, what personnel do you think we should go after in the draft with the high capital, 14th pick, right? You don't have to necessarily give us names, maybe, or if you don't want to, but give us like a position or maybe somebody in free agency that could really come in to this Ravens team and really turn them up.
Yeah, so that I went and checked out the edge market, free agency market. It's just it's not great. It's not great. So I think, I mean, the higher names, the more standout names are like Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Trey Hendrickson. So like if you're willing to, spend a couple dollars, and then that could be yours. But I think you're probably looking at like I think that's one of the positives about Jesse Minter is I don't think you need to go for marquee names. I think they might sign some edge rushers that we're going to be like really? Like it's not going to be the sexiest name that you've ever seen, but then that guy's probably going to end the year with 8 sacks. Like I'm looking for. I don't need like as much as I would love it. I would love to see Max Crosby on this team. I mean, who won it? I would love to see Trey Hendrickson, but that we had a Triple Crown defense and with Clowney, we signed Clowney in August. Kyle Van Noy, like I mean, just guys off the couch, and we were just getting the most out of them. So I think that's probably one of the best things about this guy. And then as far as the draft goes, I mean, let's just make this very clear. You got to get those 2 guard spots right. Got to get those. Got to.
I think you got one though, Raymond. I think you got one.
I think we do. But we got to get that other guard.
Mhm.
It just has to. So it's just, and then a big part of this is also dependent on Madubuike, which I don't want to ever speculate, but it just does not look
Well, I'm
good.
speculating. I
Yeah,
think he
like,
done. I think he done.
I think it really looks like he's done. So I think you need to go. I think we got 11 draft picks. I want a lot of those to be defensive, or that's a lot of trade bait. So
Yes.
Yes.
like that's what we need. We need those trenches, offensively, defensively, but we really got to start being dominant there. Otherwise, we're gonna have a repeat of this year.
Yeah, Alex, you share the same sentiment, or what say you to that?
I
Who do you
100%
want to bring in?
do. Definitely the trenches. I think. Oh, I would like another defensive tackle, obviously, with Madubuike. I want somebody. I think to battle with John Jenkins. I think Broderick Washington is as good as gone. I don't think he'll be here next year. Guard wise, would love their guard. I'd love to sign a vet and then draft one as well with either the first or second round pick. That's just me. I don't think you can ever have enough offensive linemen. That's just my philosophy, especially what I've watched this past year. Um, I also want a coach that can make those switches when possible. Something that Harbaugh didn't do. Stuck with his guys, and unfortunately, I think that cost him his job. I think him being so loyal is why he's with the Giants right now. That's a whole other conversation for probably a whole other episode. And then defensively as well, I'm kind of looking forward to see who he keeps, who he doesn't keep. Dre Jones is interesting to me because I think he wasn't bad for us, but I want to know if Minter wants to keep him, if he doesn't. And then what guys on this defense that maybe have been here a long time, i.e. Marlon Humphrey, does he want to keep him? Would he move on from him? And I'm looking at guys who could be potential cut candidates. I'm starting my agenda now. If number 6 from Pittsburgh gets released, I'll drive him from Pittsburgh to Baltimore.
Who was number 6?
Hey, PQ.
Who was number
PQ,
6?
come on home, baby.
Who was number
Come
6?
on home, PQ.
I don't care
Come
how
on
much
home.
hate you want to
Friend of
give
the
me.
show. Let's
I don't
go.
care how much hate you want to give me.
I'll meet you there.
We're driving together. We're getting the bus. We're taking turns driving it, but we've missed his ferociousness, just everything he gives on the defense. I would take him back in a heartbeat. I think he does get cut. I know James Harrison may have spoiled it on his podcast. Don't know if you guys saw that. I'm on the phone with him ASAP. I don't care what he said about us. That's kind of what happens when you go to the Steelers. We have unfinished business. Come on back home, PQ. That 6 is open for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you're absolutely right about that. And Patrick Queen, if you see this clip on Twitter or something like that, I mean, look, come on home. Come on home. I mean, I just tweeted last week. I quote tweeted his whatever he posted, and he liked my tweet. I told him to come on back home to Baltimore. So hopefully, I think he's down. I think Patrick is down, so it's just the Ravens. It's on the Ravens. Maybe Jesse Minter campaigns to bring him back in. Who knows? But we do have a super chat donation in the meantime here. Let me see who that is. We got Not a Chance You Read This. That's a very interesting and creative name. I like that. Not a chance. Like, hello to Nada, and then you got read at the end of it. I love that.
That's
Not a chance you read this.
That's clever.
Dropping the 2-piece in the chat. Appreciate you, brother. This says, I really like DT's Peter Woods and Caleb Banks. Coach, are you familiar with these guys?
I know Peter Woods plays for Clemson because everybody and their mama keep telling me to do film on him. But I ain't got to the defense. I'm on the trenches because that's what we need. I'm working. I'm gonna get to the defense and the receivers, but I ain't got to him yet, so I don't have no opinion on it. Everybody say he's the. You know what? I can't say that because I ain't watched him. I stay away from TV games as much as I can, other than Miami, because that's my team, so I can watch them at this time of the year and have a clean slate. I don't want no preconceived bias or nothing on them.
You know what, Coach? I totally forgot you were a Canes fan. I'm sorry. I know that was a rough watch.
I'm proud of them boys. After 25 years of trash, I'm proud of them boys. Proud of them.
Love that.
They fought. Yeah. I mean, it was just like, it was like grown men out there for Indiana, isn't it? Like, Miami's so much younger, it felt like, right?
But
I wonder what the average age is.
Mesidor will be 25 when the draft comes. Indiana had a team full of Mesidors.
Wow. I mean, that's how it goes sometimes in college, though. That's how it goes sometimes, and it's like advantage age because it's like you're not old. You know what I mean? It's not like you're a 20-year NFL vet. You're like in the prime of your career. You're more developed than some of those other guys. But listen, guys, I wanted to bring something up on screen, and this is kind of like live. I'm going to experiment with this in real time. Hopefully it works. The Ravens have posted a video, and I think they already interviewed Jesse Minter, and he said some things talking about his philosophy. So I want to bring that up on screen here. Let me see if I can transition us over see how that works. Okay. Let me see. Get Alex back in here. I think Alex got kicked out. Let's see. Alex, where you at?
There we go.
There he is. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and listen in here.
Hey, let's play a little football. I always knew like I wanted to be around this game. I wanted to be around the locker room. I wanted to be around a team. I think there's something so special about football itself. The sacrifice, the commitment, the bringing people together to achieve. Having a really good culture. I think I learned this here as much as anywhere. But when the guys have a shared understanding of how we want to play, it's not necessarily what we do, it's how we play. Culture, to me, it's like everybody in the building has a shared understanding of what the expectations are. In my opinion, it's clear and it's concise. Me and my staff, we got to be the example of how we want this place to operate. Side view, don't even break stride. Vertical, vertical, vertical. Run through it, good. Press the line of scrimmage. Get downhill. Woo! Just striking people over here. To me, it's one, I want them to turn on the tape and talk about how hard we play. Do we play really, really hard? Do we destruct blockers? Like, do we dominate the line of scrimmage? Do we dominate players on the perimeter from a physical standpoint? Do we attack the football? And do we communicate at a level that allows us to play at the level we need to play at? Talk, talk, talk. You got to feel me as the center.
Yes, sir.
Skinnier, skinnier, skinnier.
If I feel that push on me, if I feel you only get skinny, if I feel something tugging against me, get skinny.
If you don't, and you know the center's away, now you can be violent as hell on that hip.
That makes sense.
Makes sense? DP, hey, good right there. Good job.
Classroom to the field.
But ultimately, when you turn on the tape, it's about how your guys play when the ball snapped. Making it about everybody. It's never about you. It's about the group. With group success comes individual success for everybody involved.
Love that. Love that. So, I mean, you heard there first from Jesse Minter sitting down with the Ravens, what he loves about the Ravens, what he thinks, he understands the culture. He understands the values that the Ravens have. And I think that, again, like Coach said earlier in the show, like he had the answers to the test already. So I'm sure he smoked the interview, aced it, passed it with flying colors. But let's just kind of go down the line here. Coach, we'll start with you, Ramey, and then Simply AS10. What do you take away when you listen to that video? When you listen to the words of Jesse Minter, he's talking about his philosophy, right? He's talking about how he wants players to have value. You see how he's talking to guys like Derwin James. By the way, Derwin James, a smart fella, right? Smart guy. Kyle Hamilton, I think that him and Minter will be literally, I mean, you're basically going to have a coach on the field. Kyle Hamilton's basically that already. He's a great communicator. But the fact that Jesse Minter, he highlights communication, of course, culture as well. And he teaches like the X's and O's. I mean, he's such a great teacher. He teaches so people can understand. Coach, what did you take away from that video?
He said some buzzwords that sparked my attention. One you mentioned was communication. That's defense. You got to talk. You got to constantly talk to be a successful defense, because you can't line up in basic stuff and succeed in NFL. So you got to be able to talk. You got to be able to change stuff on the fly. You got to be able to adapt. Communication is a big key to that. But another thing, that's a little subtle thing that he said, was block destruction. And if you get D tackles and edges that like really buy into just destroying blocks, and your linebackers can run free, that would change some stuff. That would, like, if your defensive tackles just sacrifice, hey, I'm gonna take up two guys, linebackers get there, edge guys get there. If your defensive tackles can assume, your two defensive tackles can take up the guards and a guard, that means you got one-on-one with your edges, then your linebackers are free. And so we got Travis, we got what's my older guy? Jenkins. And Jenkins need to be a backup, but if you can get a guy beside Travis that can do that, he gonna change some stuff, but the rest of the stuff gonna be unlocked, because he had defensive tackles that could occupy stuff in Los Angeles. And I think the guy we got is better than the ones they had in Travis. I just think I think his linebackers will play better than ours, which was a key. So
Okay. Love that. And Ramey, I mean, what did you take from it? Did you get any new nuggets from that?
I think like the one thing I like about him and a lot of the other guys, like a Shieldhouse, like a Davis Webb. The reason I fell in love with those guys as candidates was because I think like in today's NFL, like I think everyone has like this idea of what a football coach is like, and a lot of it's like a drill sergeant, like a kind of like a Dan Campbell. But then you also have guys like this,
Right.
like Jesse Minter is like he has all those players locked on him. Yes, sir. Like asking him, like he's so attention to detail.
At 34.
Right. And he's so smart, so wise, and like I wanted a guy that was going to come in and be so nice on whether it was offense or defense, be so nice on the X's and the O's that you just like you have to respect him
42.
because
42. I mean,
42.
I'm sorry. 42.
Regardless, he's young and he's commanding that type of respect, and that's just like that's so admirable, especially from players like Derwin James. So I mean, Derwin James could easily be like, "Who's this guy?" And have that type of mindset, but he's so. I mean, Jesse Minter's clearly talking to him in ways and maximizing his talent, so he has to respect him because his game plan is so nice, and that's the one thing about him. Like you can clearly see he loves the game, and I know that's kind of a cliche answer, but it's the truth because we don't have like John Harbaugh was a they've been using the CEO term, and he was that. I didn't see John Harbaugh doing any of that.
Nope.
And that's the difference.
Right. Yeah, somebody who's an active teacher. Alex, what do you think?
I'm looking to see the improvement from this defense. I know his first year, I think the Chargers were 24th in defense, and they were top 5 last year. Him bringing, and like Coach said, I think we look at the talent. Once again, I think we have more talent, but Minter got the most out of his players. And just seeing him talk to those guys, I know just the prospect of Hamilton being even better than he is excites me. I'm not sure about you. I don't know what he's going to do with this man because I thought I saw the most out of it, but I feel like he's going to unlock a new level out of Kyle, which defenses beware. Might have to get me a number 14 jersey. Don't have one yet. And also, like you said, Travis Jones. The fact that we have him extended, I think we have like core pieces in this defense locked up. You still have Wiggins on a rookie contract. I want to see what type of philosophy he'll bring in the guys he drafts as well. Not sure the type of corners he wants to get. And then obviously with linebacker, and it sucks that Teddy's out with ACL, but I still think there's going to be an addition there. Obviously, you know my agenda now. But you can't help but be excited. You really can't. I know people are saying the Mike Mack 2.0. I'm not going to even compare him because comparison is a thief of joy.
Right.
I'm going to give this guy a clean slate. I think, maybe week 1 we'll see it. Just defense comes off firing. I'm going to kind of throw this out there. What do you think the preseason looks like? I've been thinking about that with a new coach. Is he going to play starters? I know Harbaugh kind of got PTSD after Dobbins went down. What do you guys think? 'Cause I'm completely unsure.
That's a great question. And
Coach,
simply for me, I don't know. It's because he's never ran the whole program, so we don't know what his philosophy gonna be on that. We all gonna have to wait and see. Honestly, I would hope they would get a few reps, not a boatload, but just enough to knock that dust off. But we'll see. I just don't know.
Ramey?
I don't believe he was here in 2021, but I think he left 2020.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hope that he watched I'm gonna hope he kept in touch with the Ravens and was still tapped in because I think it's just I mean, again, it's all his philosophy, but those are those little decisions that he has to make that honestly will ultimately make or break him as far as whether the fans love him. Because if so again, I think that's yet to be seen. So,
and Raymond, to piggyback on what you said, honestly, ain't in his control. Because if he plays them in the preseason, somebody get hurt, it's on him. If we don't play him in the preseason and we start off 1-5 again, it's on him. So that's the situation you are when you sit in that seat. The results, it's a results-based business. And so no matter the decisions you make, sometimes you can make the right decision and have the right intent and don't turn out right.
Yeah. No, totally agree there. I mean, for me, I'm kind of right there with Coach. Like, it's just like we really don't know how he's going to handle it. But it is almost like Coach said again, a damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of ideal, But I personally hope that we do see some starters in the preseason. My philosophy has always been like, hey, look, if you're going to get hurt in the preseason, I mean, it's a long 18-week season, regular season, then plus playoffs, right? it just probably wasn't meant to be. Just saying. But I think that guys need to kind of get into that football shape, get hit a little bit, kind of get used to that, right? Because getting back in, to football speed, and I'm not talking about training camp speed, I'm not talking about mini camp or OTA speed. I'm talking about actual live bullets in the game under the lights, right? That's a different type of environment, right? And I just think that if you allow players to play like back in the day, right? Like, well, not even back in the day like that, but like let's say 2000s, it was kind of foreign for coaches to not play their starters at all. You know what I mean? So I don't know when we started pussyfooting around here, and I don't, excuse my language, right?
But I know what
it's
you
just
meant.
like, but yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Though it's just like, what are we doing? This is football, right? If we can't play one possession in the preseason, then hey, I don't know. I don't know.
Most of us that have played the game or been around the game, you can run all the sprints and hills you want. You don't get in football shape other than playing football.
Yeah. So let's move on here. A couple more questions before we'll move on to our last part of the show. Again, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on with us. Coach Evans and Hoodie Ramey in the house with us. By the way, chat, look in the description. The links to both of their channels is in the description of this video. But okay, here we go.
Sudden, before you move on, check your number.
My number?
Yeah, your participant's number.
Let me see. I actually haven't checked that in a while.
350.
I haven't checked that in a while. Ooh, let me see. 350.
Should be more than that.
I mean, total on across platforms, we're looking at over 1,600 people watching live right now. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming through.
You should have told me that.
To this episode 372 of the Purple Rain podcast. Again, my name is Sutton Def. Underneath me, I have Coach Evans and Ramey who are joining us tonight as guests. And then I have my co-host, Simply AS10, down there at the bottom. Please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Again, big news, a big time for Ravens fans. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. This is probably the most important time in this Ravens franchise, right? I mean, this is like a pivotal moment because Jesse Minter, with everything that we read and everything that we saw, I mean, Steve Bisciotti talked him up, EDC talked him up. This guy's probably going to get a pretty long leash, right? He's probably going to be around for, I think, a minimum 5-6 years. And if he sees some success, I can easily see a decade plus, right? So this is our guy. If you don't like it, hey, look, take a couple weeks off, take a little chill pill, but get on board eventually because this is it,
Because he ain't done nothing to you.
Yeah.
He ain't blew no leads. He ain't threw the flag when he needed to. He didn't play. He didn't call run plays. He did not call blitzes. He didn't put Marcus Williams one-on-one. He ain't did nothing to you guys yet.
Exactly. Right. And it's like you go ahead.
Real quick. It's like a new era of Ravens football. I know we're rumored to get new uniforms as well. So like new coach, possibly new unis. Like I see it here. They have the Ravens. I mean, if you don't have a jersey, they have Derrick Henry jerseys on sale right now for $78 on Fanatics. So that's the telltale sign. New uniforms are on the way. So it's like really like a new era of like Ravens football. It feels like right now.
New coach, new jerseys. Sound like new championship to me.
Ooh,
yeah, that's what it sounds like. I hate that we're like 8 months out from actually seeing the product. That that part sucks. But. We're off to a good start here. Stretch 52 says in the chat, run those likes up. Yes, sir. Run those likes up. Like the video if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching us over on X, make sure you follow us. Everybody's mentioned in the live link there, so you can follow all of us if you have not already. Monty says, get y'all 77 jerseys. Monty.
Hey, on his new team. On his new team.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
His New York Giants jersey.
Right.
Yeah, I'm about to say I would low key get a 77 jersey if he went somewhere else, just as a troll, right? Just as a troll, and I'd hang it up right here behind me. That'd be hilarious.
We'll get you one off DHgate. When you're not paying $100
there you go.
for one. That's my.
There you go. Space Coast Chill says, is he connected to a hardball? I don't know. Yeah, Space Coast Chill. In case you didn't know, Jesse Minter, he is a Harbaugh-ite. So he coached underneath Jim Harbaugh, of course, over in LA, but then also at Michigan as well, where they won a national championship when he was the defensive coordinator. So
and John,
we're getting the guy.
In
You said
Baltimore.
with John too. Yeah, in
Mhm.
Baltimore. That's right. 2017 through 2020. That's right. And coach, I mean, helped coach top 5 defenses in those
Yeah.
years. So,
Yep.
I think we got a pretty good guy in the building. All right. I got one more question in here. One more question in here for us. Let me see. So, did you guys think that the Ravens reached on this pick here? Because a lot of people, I mean, Steve Bisciotti said last week, we're going to get 5 guys, and he stood firm on that. We're going to get 5 guys. They're going to bring those 5 guys to me. We're going to, have second interviews with all of them, and then we're going to make our decision, right? When we saw the carousel around the league for the coaching carousel start to like heat up and guys were hopping on and hopping off, do you think it kind of put pressure on the Ravens? And coach, we'll start with you. Do you think put pressure on them? Do you think that they really might have wanted to go in a different direction and they felt like maybe if we wait till after the weekend, Jesse Minter might not be there? What do you think went into that decision if you had to guess, coach?
I think they wanted to talk to the Rams guys and Kubiak.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I
they
thought.
did.
Shula,
I
yeah.
think they did. But with Tomlin stepping down and then the shitstorm that's in Buffalo, and the fact that, there's rumors that the Raiders really, really like Minter to be their guy, it was like, we gonna have to go on do what we need to do. So we need to pick the best guy out of the ones we didn't talk to. And I think that's what they did. Not saying Minter wouldn't have been the guy even after they talked to Shula, Shieldhouse, and what's the
LaFleur.
LaFleur. But
Mike LaFleur? Yeah.
and Kubiak. But the thing is, you got to go ahead and strike while the iron hot, because if you sit back and wait, you might get trash, and then you in this boat 2-3 years from now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Alex, I know you as, again, Kubiak guy. Do you think that the Ravens rushed it a little bit?
I feel like they may have. If you're worried about the Raiders, that's a little bit of a worry to me, because right now, even with
Facts.
like the Lamar rumors, name me one player in recent memory who's went to the Raiders from a different team and performed it and been better for themselves. You can't name a long list. It's a shit show there in Vegas. Sorry, not just part of my language. And then, if you were worried about losing Mentor, I still feel like there's more than enough guys out there, Shieldhouse and Kubiak to name a few. Shula, there's 3 right there that you if you aren't confident in them taking over, I guess they want to get Mentor. But I think even if you didn't get Mentor, there's guys out there who you really want to lead your team. I'm not sure, but you can definitely say they panicked a bit. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I think so too, because again, I thought that they were going to stand firm on the 5 guys interviewed. I mean, obviously they didn't even get to a second interview for Kubiak, which would have been, Monday or maybe Tuesday, something like that. And they just went ahead and pulled the trigger. So I think that they kind of, rushed it a little bit as well, because they saw what was happening around the league. I mean, guys were flying off the shelves, right? Salah one night, gone. Mike McDaniel the next night, gone. Stefanski, gone. You know what I mean? So it's just like kind of had to make a move before it was too late. So, I mean, I get it from that perspective. But again, guys, I think we got the right guy. I really do. I mean, when we watched that video that we watched a couple of minutes ago, just seeing, again, like Ramey said, the respect, the players revere him. It's just, and for to be a young guy like that, 42 years old, and just kind of like how he talks to and how he treats the players. I mean, he's looking in their eyes, right? He's teaching them step by step on what to do, and just really being present there, as well. I mean, I love.
Yeah.
I love everything about this guy. It seems like he's got the charisma as well. He jokes around, he's a little bit cheeky. Again, coach, I know you're going to watch you're going to watch what's it called? That 8-minute video, the mic'd up. You're going to see a lot more. And I think you'll probably come out of that video liking this guy a whole lot more, man. I mean, I love this hire. I can't say enough about it, but anybody else got anything else for me?
You just reminded me of something. He did the little video that you did watch. He did more detailed, nuanced coaching in that 2-minute video than I've ever
talk about it.
That's ever been published by the Ravens than John Harbaugh. And not say John didn't do any nuanced coaching, but from what is published over the last 18 years, Mentor did more nuanced coaching in that 30-second split than I've ever seen out of Harbaugh.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly what you're going to need, right? I mean, you need a guy the head coach, who can pour into at least one side of the football. Special teams is not enough. It's not a big enough part of the game right? To justify having a special teams head coach. I mean, 18 years. Even John Harbaugh knew that himself. When John Harbaugh got fired from Steve Bisciotti over the phone, John Harbaugh told Steve Bisciotti, he said, "Hey, look, you don't owe me anything, right? You hired a special teams coach and gave him 18 years." So he even knew.
Right.
He even knew that like that was probably not the most advantageous specialty to have as a head coach. So the fact that we're getting in a defensive minded guy that aligns with the Ravens culture, I mean, I love it. I can't say enough about it. Ramey, any more like nuanced thoughts from you on this hire, Jesse Minter? What are you thinking?
The only reason I would say that they did not panic was just because I feel like this was their guy like the whole time. And like, and from the beginning, I remember they did like their first 4 interviews, and I forget the names, but I remember like everyone in the comments was like, just announced the Minter interview, like because everyone knew that like he was probably the guy. Everyone wanted to. I mean, there was a chance. Like I'm not saying the QB like they didn't have a chance, but everyone had like this was this or Weaver. Like everyone like had their mind there. Like this is a Ravens move to make. The reason I say they didn't panic was because ultimately their competitors, it sounded like, were the Raiders. And I just, again, pure speculation, but like I'm sure Jesse Minter probably made some calls, probably as far as like his mentors, Jim or John or whoever it is. Like, what do you think? And I can't imagine those guys are telling him, like, if you take the Vegas job, I'm imagining they're saying, if you take the Vegas job or Cleveland job over the Ravens job, you're a fool.
Right.
You're a fool. So I think the Ravens probably understood the leverage that they have as far as like the attractive nature of the position, just because, like Alex alluded to earlier, like Vegas is a dumpster fire. They don't draft well. They haven't been anything the last, decade plus, and same with Cleveland. So like, I mean, I don't know what they said to him, but I would be along those lines. Like, if you want to go to Vegas or Cleveland, then so be it. Or you can be with an MVP, 2-time MVP, Derrick Henry, and company. I don't think they panicked. I just think they knew what they were going to do from the beginning, but they had to go through the process. Like, I think if they had to choose one guy from the beginning, this would have been their guy.
Yeah. Most jobs have who they want in mind. Is up to other candidates to take their mind off of that. And so I think they were, like Ramey said, they were set like, this is our guy, and we're gonna interview these other people. And if they blow us away, yeah. But if not, we kind of know what we want to do anyway. And unfortunately, in life, that's the way stuff goes.
And I had heard that he was a quiet guy, or like came off as a quiet guy, and they didn't know how it was going to translate as far as coaching. But I guess the first one was a Zoom. And then the second, they brought him in like yesterday to the building, and it sounded like he wowed him. So I think that was probably the icing. And I mean, he did his thing.
And just going on about the Raiders too. I mean, outside of Crosby, Gentry, and Bowers, number one pick obviously. But look at that division. You got to be patient. I think. The Chiefs. I mean, obviously they had a down year, but getting Bieniemy, who they had their best years under back, is huge. The Broncos right now, number one seed in the championship, and the Chargers, who keep on getting better and better. They just need that one playoff win, I think, to really sell them. It's not really an attractive job. It's a bunch of question marks. So I hope
the most attractive part of that job, and it's funny you say that, is because everyone says it. It's always Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the owner. Tom Brady ain't playing. He's playing. So like, I mean, he can only do so much as like a minority owner. Like, you're just like, is that really going to be like the reason that you went? Like, I don't know. There's no reason to pick that type of job or the Browns job over the Ravens.
Totally agree there, fellas. Guys, listen, 1,800 people watching live right now. This episode 372 of PRP. Shout out to you guys, all damn near 2,000 of you. Thank you guys for coming through and watching us. This is a very important time, very big moment in Ravens history. I mean, again, guys, this franchise is only what 28, 29 years old, right?
30.
30.
It's 30. It's 30 this year.
High school when they first started.
So yeah, I mean, you was there with Ted Marshall-Brody. You mean, of course, you've been there since Brian Billick, the whole 9 yards, right?
I saw both championships, fellas.
There you go. I was there for both. But like I was way too young for the first one. I mean, I don't really remember it. I didn't really know what was going on, Coach. You know what I'm saying? I was still running around.
Like Jerome say, young whippersnapper, still wet behind the ears.
I was very wet behind the ears, for sure. 1,900 people watching live, and now let's get into some pushback. let's get into some pushback because I see a lot of pushback in the chat here. Let me bring up a couple of comments. This one's coming from the World Class, my guy. Appreciate you for coming through. World Class says, we played against Minter last year. We dropped 30 points with Falele as the starter. I'm good. Ramey, what do you say to that? Coach got his hand up too.
Coach,
go ahead,
off.
Coach.
He says we dropped 30 points with Falele as a starter. Didn't we also drop 30 points with Lamar Jackson as a starter?
Yeah. That Lamar equalizer just goes to show, man. I mean, you can't really hold down. You can't really put that on a Jesse Minter because you're not holding down a Lamar Jackson. Like I remember some of the touchdowns from that game. I believe there was the deep ball to Bateman, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
That was one of them. I believe Henry had a rushing touchdown, maybe 2 in that game. If I can't quite remember. But Ramey, how do you respond to this?
It's just one game. It's just one game. Like, I mean, for all the bad games, I can go pull 5 good ones. Like it's so like I understand the point that he's trying to make, but like all I can say is, and we can all sit here and talk until we're blue in the face about whatever has been done, but like we'll see.
Right.
We'll see. I mean, all I would say is like if you want to be negative about it and you don't want to like it, that's fine. But like give him a chance. Give him a chance. Yeah. Now, like if you come out this year and the defense stinks and then like start raising your eyebrows, start like and all your concerns, like even the concerns are valid now. I get it. I totally understand. That's why I'm saying like I don't want to ever turn it away because they're it's valid criticism. Like they're totally entitled to their opinion. But like give him a chance.
Give him a shot.
Right.
Give him a shot. No, I mean, I totally agree. And I think at the very least, I think what Jesse Minter is, I mean, at the very least, is a floor raiser for this defense. And with that being said, I think that what he does is he kind of, he won't allow us to start the season off as a bottom 3 defense. You know what I'm saying? Like last 2 seasons under Zach Orr, I mean, the first 6 or 7 or 8 games, the defense was absolutely abysmal until they make one switch with Kyle Hamilton, either moving him, into the deep half of the safeties or bringing him closer to the line of scrimmage. But so I think that Jesse Minter being in with head coach, I think he will stabilize this Ravens defense. The offense is always going to start out hot. Offense normally starts out hot for the Ravens. So if we can kind of match that a little bit, like raise the level of the defense early in the season, I think sky could be the limit, honestly. But Alex, what do you say?
I saw Deshaun Watson come down on a Mike McDonald defense with a broken shoulder or something, and he walked them down that defense. I mean, you can do this for any coordinator.
Yeah.
The only coordinator you can say that has stopped Lamar is Steve Spagnuolo. Outside of that, nobody else has really been able to contain him for multiple games. And even the Spags games, he's put up, some good games, and there's been drops. There's obviously been his mistakes as well, but he can do that to damn near any defensive coordinator. That's just how good he is.
Yeah. Ty, appreciate the sub. Let me see what else we have here. This one's coming from SV Cam. SV Cam says, I don't like the familiarity. It seems like they're complacent. I wanted a completely new voice. Ramey, we'll start with you on this one. I know, I mean, a lot of people, you got your ear to the Twitter streets. I know you see it a lot. Like people were saying like, nah, we don't want anything to do with Harbaugh, nothing like that. I mean, Coach talked about it earlier. He wanted the stench gone, which, I can see why, right? I mean, because it felt like the Ravens were, there were a lot of scars for the Ravens, but I think that bringing in a guy like Jesse Minter. Okay, I'll say this before I toss it to you, Ramey. I'll say this. I'll say that we can't say in one breath that Jesse Minter is too familiar with the organization and that's going to be a bad thing. But then in the same breath, praise Mike McDonald, because Mike McDonald is in the NFC Championship game right now, and he was a Harbaugh disciple. And the two guys may be apples to oranges; they may be their own guys. And I'm not looking personally. I'm not looking for Jesse Minter to be the next Mike McDonald. I'm looking for him to be the first Jesse Minter, right? I want the people to be saying that about him next season. But Ramey, what do you say to this about the whole familiarity thing? Some people are going to hate it. Are we complacent right now? Does it feel that way?
I totally understand like the criticism because like it makes because he's been there before. I totally understand the argument, but like I wanted a completely new voice. You're getting a completely new voice. You're getting a new voice. Like, and I think like John Harbaugh again. I understand like a lot of people don't like him, and even me like I'm not completely fond of him these days. But I think that like ultimately what drove him out of town was just like him sticking beside his guys. Like, and I think that's hopefully what Jesse Minter doesn't do. Like Daniel Falele should have been out of the starting lineup. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what drove John Harbaugh out of town. I think creates like this animosity for fans. Like, as long as Jesse Minter doesn't do that, like, we're good. But ultimately, no matter who the Ravens brought in, the whole voice thing, that's just the Ravens. Like John Harbaugh, it's not a John Harbaugh thing. It's a Ravens thing. Like the Ravens run the way the Ravens run. Like, and that's just never going to change no matter who the coach is. Like they didn't want a guy like there was never going to be a guy coming in like my way or the highway type of thing. Like you don't think Clint Kubiak was going to come in and like he was not going to run his show. That just wasn't like it just wasn't going to be that because he knows his dad was in Baltimore. He understands the way Baltimore runs. So I think you're getting a new voice. You're getting a play caller. You're getting a guy that understands the X's and O's. Like when the Ravens are out there getting just dominated on defense, John Harbaugh can't fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Minter can fix that, and that's the difference. And even offensively, and like I think this is what people fail to realize. Like just because you're bringing in a defensive guy, you don't think he understands the offense? If anything, he can elevate that offense just as much as an offensive guy. Again, and it's the only criticism as of now that like I will take and people are totally entitled to is the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's probably the most important quality of a head coach, in my opinion. Like it's one of those like top 3 things. Like if you can't establish important, like a great staff, like you're only as good as your staff.
Right.
Period. So that's what he has to do. He has to nail the OC hire. And if he doesn't, that's on him.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see. One more from World Class here. It says, so when the Steelers hired Brian Flores, then what? I thought y'all said Flores was the best option. I mean, for me, and Coach, I told you about this last week on Ravens Roundup. I was like, you know what? I mean, the thought of having Brian Flores as head coach, you talk about a culture setter, a guy who's really gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like rally the troops, like that does sound like a Steelers guy. At this point, I think that Brian Flores might just be a Steeler, and I pray that they also don't pair him with like maybe like a Nate Shieldhouse, right, at offensive coordinator. That would scare the crap out of me, playing that twice a year. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yep.
But Coach, what do you think about that?
Well, as of right now, his only head coach option is the Steelers, as of right now. So it's either going to be Steelers or back to Minnesota, as of right now. But I think Flores was the guy. But again, I'm not mad at this hire. To me, you could have hired a number of guys in that position. The defensive guys, the offensive coordinator is the hire that's going to matter to me the most. Even though I know the defense is quote unquote broken, the offense can really help the defense by just staying on the field and being efficient, for 48 minutes. You don't have to have a top 10 defense if your offense is top 5.
Should Minter be calling the plays?
Defense?
Yeah,
defense plays?
Yeah.
Heck, yes.
Okay, got you. Okay, sounds good. That's what I thought. That's what I thought you would say.
Until he trains somebody up in his thought, like to think how he thinks, call him plays.
Yeah, that's why it's going to be interesting to see, again, like who he brings in as DC, because we know that guy, whoever it is, he's not going to have the most influence, but he's going to be, getting groomed to be that next guy up. So we'll see who Minter chooses. I missed a couple of Super Chat donations. This one's coming from Chike. Coach, I'll hand this one to you. What would you all do to get Ruben Bain to Baltimore? First of all, what are your thoughts on Ruben Bain, Coach? Because he's a Cane, right?
You know it. And he's a brother.
So
and he the bro.
There you go. Omega Sci-Fi. Okay, I love it. What do you think about Ruben Bain, and would you want to get him to Baltimore, and what would you do to get him to Baltimore? I mean, first of all, do you think he's going top 10?
Yes.
Got it.
I do. Ruben Bain is a game changer in Cam's eyes. I was watching tape on him and Mesidor today, and have watched him all season long. Like, get out my face talking about Orland. Just go look at how he destroyed the tallest, the longest arm tackles in college football. That run they just went on, Ohio State, Notre Dame beginning of the year, Ole Miss, and really gave it to Indiana, with the exception of a couple back shoulders and some stuff. So Bane takes on all comers, and it don't matter about the long arms. You think you can out-strength him, he can out-quick you. You think you got a quick tackle, he can strong on them. Alex, we get Bane in Baltimore, there will be 2 streaks to my backyard. That's just
double streaking. Okay.
Right. But I not saying that's the guy to go after. But if he were to be here, I would love it. But I wouldn't go that route.
Got you. I mean, he's well. One more question for you: who is his pro comp?
Ooh, let me think on that one. Because the first name popped up, I wouldn't dare put that on him.
I knew you were gonna say Myles Garrett.
I was not.
Oh, who are you gonna say?
Reggie.
Oh,
Philadelphia Eagle Reggie.
No, man.
Not Green Bay Reggie. Philadelphia Eagle Reggie. He ain't had a hump yet. Philadelphia Eagle Reggie was just learning that hump.
Man, I mean, well, okay, so who from okay, if you had to pick somebody from today's NFL.
I think I saw someone on Twitter say Nico Autry. I know he's not a sexy name and he's kind of like a mid player, but like just the play style.
Because he's so pause early. He's so thick in the lower body that, and Nico is more like a for real pass. This dude can do both with his framework. The only knock on him is arms. And like I posted a video today about some stuff. Don't talk to me about arm length when they can do that.
So yeah. It sounds like he's a guy who can, from what I saw, because I saw the how many sacks did he get in that natty game?
That's a good one. Suggs is a good one.
9.5.
Oh, Sizzle. Okay, 9.5 sacks. But I saw the one he got against the Hoosiers in the natty, and it looks like that guy plays with a lot of bend, a lot of torque, right? I mean, even when it seems like guys got him dead to rights, it's like nope, It doesn't seem like he struggles from the same things that a guy like Mike Green struggles from, right? Like he's not too light in the ass, right?
Right.
That's why I'm glad you said that. Coach. I mean, he kind of got a bigger lower half. Irvin, appreciate the sub, but no, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I mean, I would love to get a star pass rusher for sure.
Let me see here. Last time we had the 14th overall pick, a very talented player fell to us.
No did.
Not to give any hoping, but.
Yeah,
crazier things have happened on that draft night, combine stuff. Who knows? This could be a whole different conversation. 2 months, so who knows?
That's true. Asmodeus with the 2-piece in the chat, as we have over 2,000 people watching live right now. Again, shout out to you guys. This is the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. I am Sutton Def. To my right over here is Coach Evans. He's joining us today. And also underneath me is Ramey, who's also joining us today. And then diagonal from me down there is my co-host, Simply AS10. Again, welcome all to the show. This is episode 372. If you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to like this video. Also, subscribe to the channel as well. And let me remind you guys, we're doing a jersey giveaway. We're giving away a free Lamar Jackson jersey. Color of your choosing, right? All you got to do is be a part of the Rain Gang membership. We got about maybe 30-something members right now. So if you do join, you got a pretty good shot. We're announcing the winner on Super Bowl weekend. So if that sounds good to you, consider joining the Rain Gang membership. There's other perks that you get with our membership as well. You get exclusive content. You also get early access to certain videos, and then also badges in the chat. We appreciate you guys. So let's see. Do we have anything else before I get into the last part of the show? Alex, you had something for me?
I think we're good. I think we've hit a lot. We're an hour and 18 in, and it feels like we're about 18 minutes in. Honestly, it's going It's going very quick.
It has flown by. But okay, before we get out of here, we got to do what we normally do, Alex, and hopefully Ramey and Coach, you can stick around with us. We're just gonna do a little pick segment for the NFL Championship weekend. Shouldn't take long. Normally, the pick segment takes us 20 minutes because we got to go through 14 games, right? But there's only 2 games. We're getting down to the wire here. So, will you gentlemen, be so kind to stay along as we pick?
Yes,
let's do it.
All right, sounds good. Let's go ahead and get to some Purple Rain picks.
Conference Championship weekend. Wow, we've gotten here. It's kind of getting to that point where it's setting in for me. But let's start off with the NFC game. Rams and Seahawks. Round 3. First 2 games, nail biting, down to the wire. I think we got spoiled here. Sutton, around the wheel again we go?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks in this game. Oh, you said around the wheel, but I guess I'll start. My bad. I didn't hear you. But I'll start. I'll go with the Seahawks in this game. I want the Seahawks to win. Well, either way, I want us to bring in Nate Shieldhouse as the offensive coordinator. Before anybody else can scoop him up, give me that boy genius. That's the guy who draws up the plays, right? That Sean McVay calls, right? So I want him. Clint Kubiak, of course, that's an afterthought. He's going to be a head coach somewhere. Shula, he's going to be a head coach somewhere. So really, I'm watching that game just to see which unit performs the best, right? Just to kind of prove a point. But I do think that the Seahawks will edge out the Rams. The Rams play pretty clean football in the postseason. That's what makes this so hard. But the Seahawks, I think, is their time, man. That defense is showing up and showing out. DRMZ, appreciate the sub. So give me the Seahawks. Coach, who you think?
The Rams. I feel like both teams have good defenses. I think both teams have sufficient offenses. With that being said, I think it comes down to QB play. And I trust Matt Stafford over Sam Darnold.
That's a fact. I feel that. Alex, you?
I want them to win, and I'm picking them to win. Going with the Rams here. I think the Seahawks, very, very good team. And low-key, I mean, maybe if the Seahawks were to lose, maybe Clinton wants to run it back one more year with Mike, and maybe that's the reason why. Maybe they weren't getting the vibe that Clinton wanted to be a head coach, this quick. I'm not too sure. But I think the Rams do win. I think you have to wait 2 more weeks for Mr. Shieldhouse to come in. Puka and them boys, Devontae Adams. I think Devontae Adams will have a clutch catch. Don't know when it'll be. Maybe fourth quarter. Maybe it's a first down conversion. Maybe it's a touchdown. He's been a great red zone target for them. Hard for me to go against Stafford and McVay. Give me the Rams.
Okay, Ramey, you?
I'm gonna go.
Somebody got to side with me.
I'm gonna go with Seattle. And I'm gonna go with Seattle.
There we go.
And the reason I'm gonna say that is because they played earlier this year. Darnold threw 4 picks, and they lost by 2. I think naturally, and he threw 44 times that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think naturally with his oblique injury, I think he's probably going to fall a little out of the game plan, probably. Just like I feel like against the Niners, and they were putting belt on him, so he was probably just going to fall out of the game plan anyway. But because he's hurt, I don't think they're going to lean on him too much. So I think as long as he keeps the football clean, no turnovers, I think they win. I think they get out of there with a dub. And they're at home.
JSN 2 touchdowns. I'm calling that now.
No Charbonnet. So Kenneth Walker got to do it by himself.
You're right.
That's tough.
Yeah.
All right, moving on now to AFC.
This should get interesting.
I feel, man, imagine just like that jubilation of winning an OT against the Bills, and then an hour later, me and Sutton talked about this. I'm not sure about your reactions. I was sitting there about to eat, and I just like opened Twitter. I'm like, there's no way this is real. Bo Nix out. But yes, that is true. It's going to be Jarrett Stidham and Drake May for the AFC Championship in Denver. And you have.
I think it's pretty straightforward in this one. I mean, the Patriots defense, just not even getting to Drake May in that offense, just the Patriots defense, what they've put on display this playoffs, man, I've been massively impressed by what they've been putting on tape. Like I mentioned to you, Alex, on Monday, they have looked like probably the most opportunistic unit, that I've seen in a long time. I mean, Stroud had 5 turnovers against them, but like I told you, he could have had 8. Like it was that bad. I mean, those guys are getting after the quarterback. They're pushing the pocket, and you can't even really blame it on Stroud. Stroud got destroyed. Herbert got destroyed. That defensive line is real. It's the real deal. I mean, honestly, even if Bo Nix was playing, I would still go with the Patriots in this one. Drake May, at this point, it's kind of like a foregone conclusion. He's going to get a deep ball for a touchdown to break the game open at least one time per game. I mean, it's just going to happen. So I'm going to go with the Patriots in this one, and I'll honestly take them to cover by whatever they're favored to win by.
Patriots. It's Jarrett Stidham, man. No offense to Jarrett Stidham, but you hadn't played.
Hey, J.K. Dobbins might play.
J.K., go on, keep rehabbing, big dog. You don't risk your rehab on this. Let Tyler Batty and number 12 let them guys have it, JK. Get ready for 2026, JK. Don't do it.
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, Patriots. I think the first half may be close. I think the home crowd can only keep you in it for so long until the talent and the most likely MVP Drake May will take over the game. Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't picking Denver, just to be clear. But like, if they have any chance, like, they're gonna have to get deep in the playbook. Deep, like I'm talking trick plays, like.
Appreciate that, Za.
Just because, like, I mean, the Texans didn't have a run game against them, and the Chargers didn't either. I just don't see like that being a factor. Even if J.K. comes back, like, don't like Coach said, don't risk the rehab. So
strong.
We're going Patriots. Go back to the Super Bowl.
Hey, to add to what Randy said, if they have any chance to win, their defense has to go absolutely ape shit. I mean, they got to score twice. Keep everybody at bay. Their defense gonna have to play lights out for them to have a chance. Because I know for a fact Vrabel's going to heat Stidham's butt up.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't he? I mean, you get him knocked off his rocker early. I mean, the thing is about backup quarterbacks, you just don't want to get them comfortable. Once a backup quarterback gets comfortable and he feels like, oh, wait a minute, I can actually compete in this game. Because they don't go into the game thinking that. You flip that mental on them. I mean, hey, look, man, the sky's the limit after that. We've seen it happen multiple times throughout the NFL's history. So anything could happen. Crazier things have happened, right? This is the NFL. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not putting anything past this league at this point, but I do have the Patriots taking over and winning that game. It's crazy that the Patriots went from being this dynasty who they won a Super Bowl as recently as 2018, right? That was the last Brady Super Bowl, I want to say. And now in 2026, which is like not that long after, right? They're already getting ready. They're knocking on the door of another Super Bowl. And by the way, another dynasty as well. So I mean, hey, look, shout out to the Patriots. Kudos to them. I mean, a quick turnaround like that is not supposed to happen. The only other team I can think of that does stuff like that is the Rams. You know, they mortgaged their future a couple of seasons ago. We thought they were going to be down in the dumps, but they're right back here again, knocking on the door of another championship, man. But yeah, those are our picks for the NFL championship weekend. Alex, did you have anything else for me on that?
No, I don't. I mean, either way, if the Patriots do win it, Patriots Rams rematch, Patriots Seahawks rematch of Super Bowls we've seen in recent memory.
Yeah. So
I mean, if it's Patriots Seahawks and they get to the 1 yard line, you best believe it's Kenneth Walker up the middle. You're not throwing it at the 1 yard line. And then Patriots Rams. I mean, last time they played them, hold the Rams to 3 points in the Super Bowl was insane. But it's not Jared Goff back there. It's not Jared Goofball. It's Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like Coach said, I mean, I have the utmost trust in Matthew Stafford. However, I do think that Mike McDonald smells blood right now. And I mean, he's only given up, I know he's only played one game, but he's only given up 6 points in this playoffs, right? I really do think that you're going to see a classic Mike McDonald coaching job on Sunday night, and the Rams get held to under 20 points. That's my prediction. Rams under 20 points, and Seahawks win that game and go to the Super Bowl. So I'll be waiting. I'll be watching, of course. Mainly, of course, I'm going to be paying attention. Okay, what is Kubiak doing? What is Shula doing? What is Shieldhouse drawing up back there? That's what I'll really be watching for, reading between the lines of that game. But that is how I think that game will turn out. Let's go back to our normal lob here. Now that we're done with the picks. And I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 372. Really quick, I want to give a big round of applause to our guys here. Coach Evans, Hoodie Ramey, clap it up for them. They've done a great job. They smoked it tonight. Listen, I know this is a crazy time in the fan base. You got a brand new head coach, Jesse Minter, defensive-minded guy. The sky is looking blue again, and it feels like some of those scars that we've kind of that have tissued up. Like, we've got a lot of scar tissue over the last 15 years, right? It feels like some of those scars are slowly starting to fade, and we're entering into a new era, right? A new us, like we mentioned, new coach, new uniforms, new scheme, probably some new players going into the season. There is a reason to be optimistic. So if you're not feeling good about the hire, trust me, I understand. Leave it down below in the comments why you hate it, right? However, I think that the mature thing to do is to take a step back and take stock of like how stable this organization runs itself. I mean, we could have taken a big swing. Yes, we could have taken a much bigger swing. I agree with you. But I think we went with a safe pick that's just risky enough to get us where we need to be. Those are my final thoughts on it, fellas. Do you guys have anything else for us before we get out of here? Coach, Ramey, you guys got anything?
I am with you. What you said is what I need to say.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off that as a point I wanted to make earlier, but I just slipped my mind. I think a lot of the times you looked up at I went to a couple of games this year, and a lot of times you look up and you see time of possession, and like oddly enough, I feel like the Ravens like were losing that battle, and I think this is one of those things that it's because that defense was on the field so much they couldn't get off the field, like they were fighting, like I'm talking 7-minute drives, like just they're doing what the Ravens normally do to other people.
Right.
I think that's one of the biggest benefits for this offense. Lamar, like, again, it's not an offensive guy. I know he's not working with Lamar, I guess, so to speak, like drawing up his offense, but he's going to, I think, in the end, make Lamar's job easier.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, again, I just want to piggyback off what Sutton said. Give the guy a chance. Let him do his thing. And it ain't John Harbaugh, so we can all sleep peacefully.
Exactly. And like Coach said, he didn't do anything to you, right? He didn't do nothing to you. So give him some grace. But Alex, go ahead.
That's honestly, can't say anything else about that. I mean, I was probably the one who liked it the least, but I've kind of bought into it more and more as I'm talking about it and just thinking about how it fits us and how I think it gets most out of our players, which is the biggest thing. I think my biggest gripe with Harbaugh was we had great players, just not use them to their strengths. I think this guy can. So he has my back, and if that OC is who we think it is, especially coach included, it's going to be snowing here, so I hope it's not done. Obviously, let's say Monday if the Rams lose, because I don't want to go streaking in the snow, but we'll see.
All right. Well, again, we appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming through. Still over 2,000 people watching us live right now. Cannot thank you guys enough for coming out here. Again, like Coach always says, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be with us here, hanging out with us, and we truly do appreciate that. Again, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel as well, and do not forget our jersey giveaway. We're giving away Lamar Jackson jersey. If you become a member on this channel, you will automatically be entered for a chance to win that jersey on behalf of Purple Rain Podcast, and we will be announcing the winner again Super Bowl weekend. So if that sounds good to you, take a look at that. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. With that being said, Alex, go ahead and take us out of this one.
Thank you to everybody coming through. Our special guests, cannot thank you enough. Our biggest show, I think, ever on this history of the channel. So that's huge. I'm glad you guys were here to spend it with us. As always, like we say, stay positive and test negative.
Yes. And never, ever forget, even on the rainiest days, to call God. This has been episode 372 of PRP. We're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.